Alrighty, so this particular lesson's on cumulative frequencies. So histograms, don't forget, it's a bar graph that shows the data in groups or intervals. Because there are no gaps between the intervals, there are no gaps between your bars. So this frequency table shows the amount of money pledged for a charity walk. So all you need to do is add up all the tallies, and then those that pledged between $1 and $10 were 12 people, between $11 and $20 were 10 people, between 21 and 30 were 14 people, between 31 and 40 were 6 people, and between 41 and 50 were 4 people. So this kind of goes back to what we did yesterday. So you're going to really do the same thing that you did yesterday for your histogram. You're going to title this thing, we'll call it Charity Walk Pledges. We know that along the bottom side, it's going to be your intervals or the amount that was pledged. So I'm going to put pledge amounts down here. And then always on the side is going to be your frequency. Pledge amounts. We know that we had between $1 and $10, between $11 and $20, between 21 and 30, between 31 and 40, between 41 and 50. In terms of the frequency, the most amount of pledges that someone got were the 14 people. So then I look at my chart. I can't really go by ones. I think that only gave me the 12, so I'm going to go by twos. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So I'm going by twos. Feel free to put the other numbers in the middle. I've got 12 people between $1 and $10, so that would be these guys, and I'm going to put a 12 in there. I've got 10 people between 11 and 20. You've got 14 people between 21 and 30. You've got 6 people between 31 and 40. And then you've got 4 people between 41 and 50. Okay, so this is just what we did last night. All that's going to be different now is we're going to take these frequency histograms and we're going to make them cumulative frequency. And don't forget that cumulative means you incorporate everything from the beginning all the way to the end. So cumulative frequency is just a bar graph that shows the relation between the tallies and the frequency of the tallies. In other words, the number of scores in every interval is added to the number of scores in the interval before it. So you're basically going to be including all those intervals before, or really going back to the beginning. So instead of doing it by tens, you're going to do it just by different amounts, but always starting from 1. So really, when you do cumulative frequencies, decide on your intervals first. So we know that the pledge amounts are from 1 to 10. But now I'm going to go back to 1, and now I'm going to make it 1 to 20. And then I'm going to go back to 1 and make it 1 to 30. And then go back to 1, 1 to 40, go back to 1, make it 1 to 50. Well, the amount of people that pledge between $1 and $10 hasn't changed. It's 12 people. But then the next level, 10 more people pledged. So between 1 and 20, you need to add the 12 and the 10 for 22. And then for 1 to 30, we already have 22 people, but then we got 14 more. So we're going to add 14 more, and now that gives you 36 people total between 1 and 30. 6 more people pledged between 31 and 40. Add the 6 to the 36, and that's 42. And then 4 people were between 41 and 50. Add that 4 more people, and now you get 46. So we've got 46 people total. And that should make sense. If you add up all of these together, this does come out to be 46 people, so it only makes sense that your last interval has a total of 46. So all that's different for this cumulative histogram is that it's just going to now have different intervals and different frequencies. But you're still going to title and label everything. So we still have charity walk pledges. We still have amount pledged. I know I'm going over the words. Sorry about that. And you still have frequency. Some people like to call this cumulative frequency, and that's fine. So now with our amount pledged, we're going to have 1 to 10, but now 1 to 20, and then 1 to 30, 1 to 40, 1 to 50. We've got to get as high up as 46. Can't go by twos this time. Maybe going by fours might be better. So it's going to be 4, and then 8, and then 12. I'm not even going to put that line there because it's going to be messed up. Try this again. So it's going to be the first line becomes 4, and then 8, and then 12, and then 16, and then 20, and then 24, and then 28, and then 32, and then 36, and then 40, and then 44. Okay, so between my 1 and 10, there are my 12 people. Between 1 and 20 is 22 people. It's kind of like in the middle. That's why I sort of want to write the numbers in there. Between 1 and 30 is 36. Between 1 and 40 is 42. And then between 1 and 50 is 46. Okay, so again, all you're doing here that's different is now they're just cumulative intervals. So then the first question is, well, how many people pledged $30 or less for the charity walk? So in the cumulative graph, it makes it pretty easy because 30 or less would be all the people that's in this particular category. So this answer right here would be 36 people. Some questions are easy, like that one. I think some questions are a little bit more complicated to look at the chart with, but I'll show you how you can do it both ways. So this next one says, how many people pledged at least 21, but no more than 40? So at least 21 means we're looking at those people that are right after this guy, the 22nd person, but no more than 40 means we have to stop at the end of this one, at that 42nd person. So what's really happening is it's really going to be 42 people minus 22 people, or 20 people total for those that pledge at least 21 but not more than 40. That sometimes is hard to kind of figure out. So looking at maybe the actual cumulative histogram might be harder than looking at the regular frequency histogram itself. If you look at just the frequencies, and we want to find those people that pledged at least 21, you know you're going with these guys here, and you know you're going with these guys here. But it's less than 40, so you can't go any further than that. Here's that same 20, and that's what this answer is right here. So sometimes it might be easier to look at the actual uncumulative frequency as opposed to the cumulative one. All right, so that's it. So good luck on the homework.